Thanks a lot for joining us. This is Jim from the Green Dream Project, and without further ado, we're going to get right back into the interview with Marcia Gibbons. This is part 2 of our natural building series, Earthbag. It's really good.
Good. Still snowing outside.
So definitely some of the positives are cost, ease on technical
Yes.
skills.
Simple techniques, simple materials, cost,
Source.
therefore, yes. Yes, assuming that your soil, your subsoil, is appropriate for this and doesn't have to have too much added to it. That you don't have to haul in sand or haul in gravel or something. I happen to have perfect subsoil, so I like that.
What are some of the disadvantages that Earthbag building might have over some other type of natural sustainable building, like your cob or straw
You can
bale?
say negatives. Okay, one would be is that if building these cupboards, for instance, and the countertop and things on a compound curve, it's curving this way and this way, that was a challenge. So in other words, furnishings, if people want to have, but you can also do built-in furnishings, which I did not do here. You can make bancos, you could do a built-in rocket stove, all kinds of things. But yeah, if you have square furniture and cabinets and that sort of thing, that can be quite a challenge. I mean, it's heavy work, but every building technique is hard work and takes time. I built this with the help of a little gang of teenagers, and they're strong and they were happy to do it, and it was exciting. So you don't need a ton of skills. And probably the biggest skill is, well, there's a number of them. I mean, you have to be able to decide where your windows and doors and any openings are going to be, and then have a form ready to go to put in place. I built all my own forms, so that goes back to my years as a kind of nail pounder. So I had just enough skills to do those things myself. Otherwise, it's the compass. It's running the compass to keep your geometry correct. That's probably the most important thing in making it nice and sound. You build it in place so you don't ever have to lift anything more than a coffee can of material, which is great.
So it's just especially like planning ahead,
Oh yeah.
making sure everything's ready to go,
Yes.
work in
Yeah.
place, work smart, not harder.
Yes, exactly. Another advantage to Earthbag building in general is that we got working on this in the summer, and the monsoon rains have no effect on it whatsoever. I wondered, as soon as we had our big first rainstorm and we had all the exposed earth bags, and I'm knocking on them and going, nice, Whereas with straw bale, oh boy, when I built my straw bale pump house, same problem. Every time it looked like it was about to pour rain, we had to just cover everything with plastic, and then that's blowing around, so then you have to anchor that. It was a lot of work. And of course, I had meant to build that structure before the rainy season, but certain things happened that prevented me from doing that. But it is something that you have to be very careful. The straw that you get in the first place has to be really good, dry, no mold, and it's always straw. It's never hay. Don't call it hay. So that's another advantage of Earthbag building in general. And if you have to stop and leave for 2 weeks, it's fine. It just sits there. Come back and pick it up where you left off. And that's why there's nothing quite like just doing it, because then you test it out at all seasons. And that was pretty fun to see that there was no ill effect with being poured on.
Sometimes though, you got to be careful with sun exposure, right?
To the bags, correct. If a structure were to languish unplastered for a very long time, those polypropylene bagging material does deteriorate in sunlight. And even unused, stored indoors, not outside, the bags will deteriorate if they are left too long or exposed to any light at all.
So definitely get those bags closer to when you're ready to build, huh?
Yes, don't hoard them. Yeah, and get that exterior plaster on as soon as you can to protect the bags. So the interior, of course, it's quite a bit less vulnerable.
Any people looking to get into Earthbag building, what advice would you give to people thinking about building with that?
Try something small first if you can. My outdoor living area out here is the bunkos. Those are Earthbag. So that would be something you could even do in a suburban backyard. Seating area with bunkos. It's an excellent way to actually get some experience with the level of effort that it's going to take to do it. So that's a good project. Any small project, even a very small dome would be a good way to start with a dome. I think a few people were a little bit taken aback that I started with something this large, a 12-foot interior diameter plus the apse, and I never thought twice about it. I just didn't. But I had a fair amount of background. So I wasn't starting with just no knowledge or experience of any kind. So that helped. In general, build small. If we're trying to be sustainable, I've seen a few outfits and presentations. Well, the materials are all sustainable, but it's huge. But I would say for owner builders, oh my God, start small. I mean, draw your plans out so that if I can and I want to, I can add on, and here's how I'll do it. You want to plan those things ahead of time. Even in a structure like this, you can make a false doorway. Say I wanted a door there in the future, or maybe I wanted one. I would just stop as if there was a form there and fill those with loose, dry sand in the bags and mark it. And then later on, I'm going to add an apse on there. Then you just knock holes in the bags and drain that loose, dry sand out. Oh boy, start small. Start really small. You avoid divorce proceedings, you avoid financial disasters. And if you have to bail completely, nobody wants your half-finished project.
I had the opportunity to talk to Ray Clamon. He works up in Tucson. He has a company called Natural Building Works, and he specializes in rammed earth.
Rammed earth is a really interesting building technique, and this is kind of a cousin to it because the strength of the earth bag is in that compression. It's the tamping. In rammed earth, it's not a terribly practical technique for a one-time owner-builder. For somebody who's doing it repeatedly as a business, for instance, or just building a lot, because you do need all that plywood and all the clamps and all those tools and things to make it work, to cast it. Essentially, you're casting those walls, which is great, but not terribly practical for a one-time owner-builder. Because then what are you going to do with all the plywood and all those clamps?
So that's something you might want to consider.
Yes.
If you're deciding between the two, like just those that extra tooling and
right,
materials.
Exactly. But yeah, rammed earth is a very big commitment in terms of the materials and tools. And you have to have enough clay in the soil that you're using, the earth, the subsoil, and probably a stabilizer in it of some kind.
You can build an Earthbag dome without stabilizer because it does have the mechanical aspect of the bag continuously applied to it. But if you want it to last longer, it probably should have some type of stabilizer in it, right?
Yes, and to do testing on the earth that you're using, and I always say subsoil, you don't want that top layer and organic material in there. There is kind of an ideal mix, a certain percentage of sand, silt, clay, and you may have to add a little of this or a little of that if your soil is different. I just happen to be in a great area for that type of soil. I use Portland cement as a stabilizer. I've done sample bags with lime instead of Portland. Lime is more readily available in other parts of the world, but we have Portland cement, and I use a larger percentage close to the grade, up to about a foot above grade, and then I cut it back, but I still use stabilizer. Last year when we built the small dome, and of course Kenny's primary experience is in Taos area where there's ultimate adobe subsoil, and he thought maybe we wouldn't need the Portland, but after we got going and he got familiar with my subsoil and how much sandier it was, way less clay, more sand, he thought, yeah, this is good, let's use that Portland. But it has to be damp, and it's the compression of it by the tamping in the end that gives it the strength. In other words, you can't just fill loose soil or sand, unless the bombs are dropping and you're in a hurry.
And you definitely want like a good mix between sand and clay. You don't want too much sand, you don't want too much
right,
clay.
And it's okay to have aggregate. You kind of want some aggregate in there. So somebody might have to import a little gravel or something. We just happen to have, enough small rock, and we don't sift that out. We just screen out the bigger rocks. You may very well have to import something into the mix.
Any other last tips, things you would tell people?
It's a wonderful technique. I mean, when Nader came up with this concept for NASA, for building on the moon and Mars, there's a reason that he walked away with the prize. This is good stuff. And yes, it's hard work, but I haven't done any building that wasn't hard work. It's also very modular. You can continue to add units and create a cluster and have that big old house you always wanted, if you really want to. But if you just stay small, that may be as far as you want to go, or it may be as far as your money will go.
Now, there is a huge opportunity coming up. You're actually going to be holding a workshop.
Yes.
Here at Ransom Ranch.
Yes, and that's coming up at the end of January. We're going to build another dome of this size, and this is a 12-foot interior diameter. And it will be a little shorter because the way I built this, the first mistake that I made was I didn't get the second compass in quick enough, so we went up vertically, and then I went, oh my God, I need that other compass. What an idiot. So we buttressed up to that level. So that was a tremendous amount more material, time, and work. Yes, up to that spring line, you have to make sure that you buttress. So that was when I felt pretty stupid, but I called the foreman at Keller, and I was like, oh, what do I do, And there will be moments like that. There will be moments when you go, oh, God, why did I start this? Of course, I didn't have those moments because I waited until I was in my late 50s to start this. It was like, I'm doing this. That's all, I'm doing it.
I think the earthen building has really empowered a lot of people to build, whether that be women, older people.
Yes.
I just find that a lot of more people are gravitating toward this type of building.
Well, more and more people are aware of what deforesting is doing to the planet. And I know I love working with wood. Everybody loves working with wood that's done it, but we're running out. And another wonderful thing about this building is that you're not participating in that deforesting of the planet. My windows are all steel framed, which is great in this climate because we also have, 134,000 different kinds of termites or something. So it's to our advantage to minimize wood anyway. I mean, this was Nader's whole concept, and his belief was that the most plentiful building material on the planet is what we're standing on. And each area is different soil-wise. So you test your soil and you make your plan according to that. But yes, very plentiful building material. And to be able to eliminate the wood on a roof by doing this shape and all the way up is pretty genius. I think he got it, and it's been certified as emergency housing by the United Nations. And literally, grandma and 3 kids could build a structure quite quickly. And if you don't put in the barbed wire and the stabilizer and all that, it's a more temporary structure, and yet it's solid. But it can be used as a permanent, full-time housing as well.
So definitely, if you're living around the southeast Arizona area, around Bisbee, Douglas, definitely if you were interested in learning how to build with Earthbag, check out this workshop.
True that, yes. It'll be 2 weeks, and great lunches involved, and you'll learn a lot.
There.
Yes, Kenny Quinn and I are going to be teaching again, just like we did on the small dome that we built in March of this year. And we had a good time. I felt like we worked really well together, and his experience and my experience melded really nicely. And so, yeah, it's a great opportunity.
And that's one thing. I mean, you can read books and everything like that. You can read all the books, but getting your hands in there.
That's
and
right.
especially learning from seasoned people that have built before is just an indispensable experience.
Well, some of the students from that building workshop also really enjoyed at one point going over a window when Kenny and I were both going, no, I think it should go this way. No, I think it should go that way. Are you sure? No, really, I think it should go this way. And it was perfect learning experience for everybody involved.
Right.
And then we came to a conclusion, and that's the way we went. And I don't remember if it was his way or mine. I think it was mine, and I think I looked at it afterwards and I thought, I should have done what Kenny said. But as long as you don't make mistakes that involve structural integrity.
But definitely, I'll be leaving all that information on that workshop down below if you're interested. Definitely contact her. And then,
thank you very much.
Yeah, a great opportunity for sure.
Yeah, wonderful.
Well, thanks a lot for talking with us and just giving out more information, especially concerning Earthbag.
Good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah. Nice going, Jim.
An incredible opportunity. Marcia Gibbons, everyone.
Oh, thank you. Come to the open house, too. It's every first Sunday. Every single month for over 10 years now. I've had open house here at the ranch from 10 till 1.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. The open houses are an amazing get-together. Once every month, the first Sunday, and sometimes you can just meet incredible people that come here, and it's a great place to network, meet other people that are interested in the exact same things. Really great opportunity. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, it's been my pleasure. That's why I've stuck with it for over 10 years. It's a great opportunity for people to learn and meet other people and commiserate and celebrate.
All right, so that was our interview with Marcia Gibbons, a font of knowledge about Earthbag building, natural building. She's done a bunch of different things over there at Ransom Ranch. They got open houses there the first Sunday of every month. And don't forget about that workshop. Definitely attend that. I got information on all that down below in the description. All right, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you like natural and sustainable building techniques. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already done so, because we got so much more info coming down the line. Definitely will share this with a friend or two. Let's get the word out about natural building, sustainable building, all good stuff. Don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll catch you on the next video, everyone. Bye.